Welcome back. In the last video, we added actions to our timeline here so that we can move from this screen to the instruction screen. We added action to our play button so it would take us to the gameplay scene. And then we added an action to our hero character so that it would take us to the winning screen. And we wrapped it up by putting an action on the play again button to take us back to the gameplay scene. Something I did notice in the last game, and that was that the pink germ, it was a little harder to click than I wanted it to be for such a simple game. Now, the original placement of the pink germ, it was a little lower in the hierarchy here, the layer hierarchy, and that made me think it would be a good opportunity to talk about how you can, by adjusting its position in the layers, you can create levels of difficulty, which could actually make the gameplay more fun, a little more difficult if you want it to be, or you could ease up the gameplay, make it a little easier. So for example, if I had the pink germ and I had it down here beneath the green germ and right above the background group, you can see what happens when it goes down. It gets hidden behind these clouds, which could add a little bit of interest to the gameplay, that basically you would only be able to click on it between those cloud bubbles right there to actually win. So that would make it a little more complex. Again, you could even take it all the way back here and you can see it's behind everything. That's going to make it almost impossible unless it's here in this open area, and it's also behind all the other characters. So for this game, I'm going to go ahead and move it up, keep it right there, not the topmost, but behind that blue germ. And that just gives me a little bit of a little difficulty. So if the blue germ hops in front, it'll be harder to click. Now, something else you can do for strategy to add difficulty is you can go here to the physics, and you could take the bounce down on it a little bit on that character, slow him down a little bit, and it would make it easier to click as well. So we have made our adjustments here in our layers, and now what we want to do though is we want to add our losing screen. The losing screen, you will end up there if you click any one of the non-hero germs that we have. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to steal some artwork just to make this interesting. I'm going to go up to my intro screen. I'm going to grab that slime. I'm not going to copy the animation, but I'm just going to go ahead, paste it, Command V here on the top just as an element, a grouped element. And then I'm going to go ahead, create another base rectangle, just something that's to ground this illustration, and I'll bring it down right about there. Go into my element inspector, and I'm going to do that green again, and this time I'm going to turn off the stroke on that as well. So if you end up here, it will have some more text, just another alert. And the alert would be, let's go ahead and change that, go to the text so we can see it against that black background. We'll go here and maybe give it another green, and we'll assign a font, or marker felt again, and we're going to bring it up to 36. And then what we can do is we'll bring it right about here, and we'll get rid of the new text there and say, you lose, you are a pile of toxic waste. So you can see we have a long line of text here. We'll bring it right here. We're going to go ahead and center it. So you are a pile of toxic waste. Let's go ahead just for a little bit of a layout. Bring that up there, space, and we'll pull this out a little bit. Pile of toxic waste. Okay. So we'll put that right there. Now we're going to, when we end up here, we don't want it to just end the game. We want you to go back and have another shot. So what we'll do is we'll come back to our winning screen, and you can see our play again button. We're just going to copy that, Command C, and we're going to come back down here to the losing screen, and we're going to paste it right here. Now, if you go back and take a look at the action, what's nice about that is it goes right back to the gameplay. So we don't have to assign another action to it. So by using those elements from other screens, sometimes you can save yourself some time just by copying and pasting them if you want them to have the same destination. But on this one though, what we'll do is we're going to come back and let's give it you know, a nasty red looking color, and we'll leave that stroke on there, but we'll go ahead and give it a dark red. Alright, so when you land on this screen, you'll click on this, it'll take you back so that you can play. But how do we get to that screen in the first place? What we'll do is we're going to take our characters that are not the heroes, and we're going to come up here to our actions, and on our mouse click or tap, again we're going to jump to scene, and again we're going to go to the losing screen. Now you can do that again for each one. And this orange one is our last one. Losing screen. So if you see now when you click on blue, green, or orange, they go to the losing screen. So that, for the most part, is all of the actions that you need for this very, very simple game. And like I said, you can take this further and build other layers. You know, to make complexity, you can add more obstacles for it to bounce off of. You can add as many levels as you want. So instead of a gameplay scene, you could have gameplay 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can make this as complex as you want. Let's go ahead and take a quick preview. All right, here we go. We click on it and I slowed him down. Hey, congratulations, this iPhone is clean. Play again. Come back now. If I hit one of these guys, oh, you lose, you're a pile of toxic waste. Play again, and you can see we're back. So this was an example of a very simple tapping game in Hype that you can build in Hype, and we used all of the Hype elements to create our illustrations, so you don't need a lot of drawing programs to do some really fun games and fun animations, web animations in Hype. What we're going to do next is wrap this all up in the next video in Xcode. So I'm going to show you how to export this out and get into Xcode and write a little Swift and make this into a real iPhone native app. See you then.